And all of these efforts were going to be canceled. And so they were saying, do something, do something. Well, what do you do? Well, in the 90s, what you did is you formed a public interest organization, an organization which was a nonprofit, citizens advocacy. Of course, there were industry associations, but they were basically lobbying for the business contracts of aerospace companies. There were science organizations, but they were basically there to ensure good communications among scientists worldwide. But for actual advocacy, to advocate government action, there was none. And the idea of forming a public interest organization was something that they said thought needed to be done. Well, I happened to be working as a congressional science fellow on leave from JPL at that point. I was working in the U.S. Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee as a staffer on an AIAA, American Institute for Aeronautics and Astronautics, Congressional Fellowship. And so I was like temporarily there for a year. And I'd come back to JPL and report in, what's going on in Washington kind of thing. And I had come to a similar conclusion, noting what was going on in other fields like communication satellites, remote sensing satellites, that associations were being formed of either industry groups or user groups, and they were advocating, Congress loves advocacy because it's like supplicants coming before the king. Everybody comes to Congress and they would advocate their position and for legislation, for funding. But nothing like that was going on in science. And I said, we need to form something like that in science. A lot of the forming of a nonprofit organization, your first job is to have a vision and a cause-related statement to promote the exploration of other worlds and the search for other life through public education, through citizen advocacy, through publication,